Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Overcast Podcast. I'm Corey.
And I'm Wes.
And today we are joined by the incredible Nicole Thibault. Nicole, how are you doing?
Good.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
Happy to hear about that. Very good.
Awesome. That's really good to hear. I know that you just got your vaccine recently, just a few days ago. How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Did that kind of kick your
I'm
ass at all?
feeling good today. Yesterday was a bit, and the day before was a bit yuck. Really sore arm. I mean, that's to be expected. And yeah, I thought I was going to feel worse, but I just felt just a bit weird and just odd. But I felt like that was good because, yeah, your body's kicked in and building up your immunity.
That was your second one?
Yeah, second one.
Did you have
Yes.
anything with the first one?
No, nothing. No, not even a sore arm. No. Yeah, it's weird. I think with Pfizer, it's meant to be. Do you have Pfizer there? What are you guys
Yeah,
got?
both of us got
We're
Pfizer.
both Pfizer.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, very different to Australia. It's only, I don't know if you know much about what's happening here, but bit of a hot mess.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel when you?
I
you
didn't
get
have
sick?
any crazy symptoms for both of them.
Yeah.
My arm was really sore for both of them, but other than that,
Yeah.
it wasn't any like I didn't feel sick at all.
My first one was fine, but the second one just absolutely destroyed me. I was in bed for a full day just playing video games.
Yeah. That's, I don't know, it's what I wanted to feel bad because I wanted my body to kick in but maybe, I don't know. Anyway,
Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad people are getting vaccinated and stuff.
that's true. It's happening
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah. But getting into the music aspect, we'd like to talk to you, of course, about your music and stuff. And I don't know,
Epidemiology, I'm not here as an expert on the coronavirus pandemic. You haven't got me. I thought we were just talking about the coronavirus pandemic.
yeah,
You're
we're
an Australian expert.
yeah, we brought you in as our Australian correspondent on COVID.
Dr. Nicole Thibault, yes.
But yeah, so I kind of lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. That was a good bit. Wesley, help me out. What was I going to say? I forgot.
So, getting into the music aspect of things. So back in the 90s and early 2000s, of course, you were in Minimum Chips. And I just want to know your thoughts and opinions. What was that like? How did that come to be? So on and so forth.
I think it came about accidentally, sort of thing. I think we formed at a party. Oh my God. Yeah, there was sort of, Julian Patterson and myself and Ian Wadley. And I think we all knew that we all could play instruments. We all had musical backgrounds, I guess. And I think a friend of ours just asked us to play at a birthday party, and we did. And then it just kind of, we sort of made stuff up. It was pretty experimental, but then we started writing songs. I think I could be wrong. I can't really remember.
It was a while ago.
So
It is.
it was
Sorry, go
a
ahead.
long time ago.
It is
Yeah.
very experimental, and that's what I like about it. Your music in general, whether it's Minimum Chips or just Thibault. In fact, some different resources called it
He
experimental.
said Tito.
What was that?
You know a band? No, no.
Thibault? Oh,
No.
sorry.
I'm not used to. It's okay.
How are we saying it wrong?
It's hard to say. I don't even know myself really because it's a French first name now. Like you might know people. I think there's people in Canada who have got. I sort of say more Thibault.
Thibault.
But it's
Okay.
probably like more to. But it's hard to because I wrote Thibault. It's pretty much
Thibault.
Thibault. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I say pretty much what you say. Yep.
Okay. Thibault. I'll start saying it like that. Thibault. Okay.
Thibault. I probably should have spelt it. I don't know how to spell that though. Thibault. But I've probably put an Aussie accent on it, so I'm probably saying it wrong. So you're probably closer now. So we'll never know. No one will ever know.
Yeah. Have you ever tried asking a French person?
I'm sure I have. And I know there's a French chocolatier here who, Monsieur Truffe, is pretty famous in Melbourne. And I walked up to him and I showed him my driver's license and I said, look, we've got the same name. And he's like, ugh, he just didn't care. But so French. I can say that, yeah. I'm sure I have, but probably, a long time ago, and probably drunk at a nightclub or something. Yeah.
All right. Well, Thibault. We'll move forward with Thibault.
Now, as you mentioned earlier, you're all very experimental, and that's what I like about it. In fact, you've been described as experimental jazz, but as well as motoric pop, baroque pop. What do you think you would describe your music in general as, if you were to give it a genre? And please feel free to make up your own genre as well, if you'd like.
Oh, my God. I think I've heard it described as like op shop, scrappy. Yeah, I like the op shop pop kind of tag because a lot of the music that I did listen to was probably records from op shops. Do you know what op shops are?
No, I'm unfamiliar with
that. No, thrift stores.
Oh, okay.
Charity stores. And all the instruments we had were probably pretty old, and we just found them. It was just whatever we had, and that kind of ended up dictating the sound of the music, I guess, a lot of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I really...
Op shop pop.
Very interesting.
Hey, don't put a label on it, man. Don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very... I can't really...
I think that's one of the things that always, pulls me towards bands where, like, you can't really define the genre that they're in. Like, it's just like everybody describes it as different things. Like, we listen to plenty of bands like that, and we're just like, I mean, it's interesting. It keeps it fresh.
They sort of ebb and flow in depending on what radio station they're listening to, what bands they're ripping off at the time.
Your music was very unique, especially with Minimum Chips, especially. Well, both of them, of course, but starting with Minimum Chips. Because when I first heard it, like, I don't know if you listen to our deep dive episode, but we were saying that, well, it was just we had started with Thibault, the album, or Not Thibault, and then we kind of worked backwards and then went to Minimum Chips, and I was like, wow, like, it's crazy that this was coming out in the 90s. And like early 2000s, and me and Wesley were saying how we wish that we had kind of come across it sooner. And I was wondering, was there any like direct inspiration to the sound of your music, or was it, like you were saying, just random op shop stuffs and then you just kind of created your own thing?
I guess there's some obvious influences in there, but I mean, I love Broadcast. Are you across them? Do you know Broadcast? Mm-mm. No, that's what. Yeah, okay. Don't listen to them, because then that's all my secrets have been revealed. And we always got compared to Stereolab. I mean, we supported them a number of times, and became good friends, and we sort of listen to the same music and we're into the same kind of things as them, and kind of a bit of they probably had a big impact. Also, I think when you're talking about, on the deep dive, about Morricone, I love Morricone. Julian Patterson was really into cinema and sound, soundtracks, and so we've always I guess had that kind of influences coming from movie soundtracks.
Very nice.
I love John Barry and 60s. I'm a big fan of 60s music in general, and then I guess got classical training. I studied the trombone. Julian Patterson, I think he studied piano. He got up to a pretty good level, and I think his dad was a jazz drummer. So,
cool.
Yeah, it all kind of.
Did you have a musical background before you went into orchestra? Like with your family growing up?
I think so. Yeah, I think my dad really wanted to be. I think he really wanted to be like probably a musician, but his family didn't really let him. My mum always played the piano, and we always had music on. They listened to a lot of opera, which I'm not a big fan of, but and jazz, a lot of jazz, Count Basie, big band stuff. So I guess, yeah. But then also, I don't know, my dad loved Neil Diamond. I don't know, just everything. There was always something on. The Beatles. Yeah. My dad was an audiophile, loved, high tech. When I say high tech, like high tech in the 70s, he had an upright record player and, just sort of sit there and listen to records. And, yeah, so I guess I was pretty lucky. I didn't realize how lucky I was in that sense.
So as Corey did mention earlier, you were in orchestra, and I read an article that said that you didn't necessarily like it, but obviously listening to your music, there's a lot of influences in that. So what things about orchestra or band did you like, and what made you want to keep that when you made music?
What was the last bit? Sorry, what made me want to keep?
Yeah, keep some of those elements in your own music.
Yeah, because I'm sort of was stuck with it really. Like I kind of I play the trombone because just by chance, no one wants to play the trombone in primary school, and it was the only instrument that was left. Everyone wanted to play the saxophone, and so did I, but they all got snapped up. So yeah, so when I was in primary school, we all had a chance to play an instrument, and I kind of got lumped with the trombone, but I could play it, so I kept going with it. So, and then I got into university by audition, and probably for the same reason, because not many people play the trombone. So if you ever want to get into university with a musical instrument, don't choose a popular instrument, choose an instrument that no one plays. No one wants to play because it's really hard, and it's a very sad, lonely instrument, but people seem to love it so much. Like people get so excited.
Yeah, you really
love the trombone.
You really wail on that trombone. You're good.
Yes, you can. Yeah, it's just yeah. I mean, I think I bring people to tears in a good way sometimes when I, hit certain notes. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always loved brass and trombones in particular.
Yeah.
Like my favorite brass instruments are the trombone and French horn.
Yeah, French horn, beautiful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that definitely struck a chord with me. Like it was so crazy when I first checked out.
Struck a chord or struck a single note. Sorry, can't play chord.
That was a good.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I first checked out your music, I was listening to it, and then like the trombone came in, and I was like the brass work came in, and I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. Like I thought it was unique enough, like when just on its own, and then the brass came in, I was like, geez, like it really pushed it over the edge for me.
I feel like it's not me, it's something else that takes over. It's quite odd because you just kind of like blowing raspberries, really. And then this incredible sound comes from somewhere else, and yeah, it's pretty magical. I don't play it enough because I don't like playing on my own, so it's a bit tricky at the moment. You know, we've got a gig coming up and we haven't rehearsed and haven't really played. I think I like playing music with people, so I think that's I don't know. I think with a guitar, I think guitar's a bit easier to play on your own. You can get more out of it, but at the trombone, you can't really can't really play a song per se. But when I do play in the band, I love it. I love playing with everyone else, and when it all comes together, that's when it all makes it worthwhile. All those years of practicing and. I used to practice all the time, but I don't practice.
When you first started making music, is that something you knew you wanted to incorporate, or were you just like, I have this laying around, let's see if it fits?
Yeah, I think it was just more accidental, yes. And it was, I guess I just, I'd try it out with different songs and come up with melodies, or sometimes like in Minimum Chips, I think depending on who wrote the song, I remember songs that Julian Patterson wrote, he'd come up with a line and give me a line to play, and he sort of did it that way. And then sometimes I'd just make up stuff. Not on it's only on a few songs. I should play it on every song, but it's hard because I play keyboard as well. So I can't, I need to make a one-person band.
You should get one of those.
Everything.
Yeah, that's what I was, one of those one-man band things, like have the drums on your back and the keyboard.
Yes. I feel like I almost do that when I'm playing live. Like I'm playing the keyboard and then, got to pick up the trombone and sing as well. It's, it's like, it's pretty chaotic. Probably funny to watch, I reckon. It could be entertaining to watch, I hope.
It's a good stage presence.
Yeah. It looks like there's a lot going on. It's pretty hectic. Yeah.
So sort of branching between Minimum Chips into Thibault, there was a big hiatus, like a big break of time during those two periods. And were you keeping yourself busy were you still being musically creative during that time, or?
I guess I can talk about it now. I went into a witness protection program. No, I didn't. I wish I did. I just thought of that just then.
I was about to say, oh my gosh.
I might start saying that, actually. Yeah, it's been enough time I can talk.
It's like, oh, shit.
Nobody, you've got it exclusive. Had to go underground. I just, I know that's not funny to talk about, that's a real thing. And I don't know, I was really, I can't not be musical, if that makes sense. But I kind of gave up, playing crappy live gigs where it felt like no one cared at all. I think the world was a bit different because you didn't have this instant response like you do now. Like if someone likes your music, they might find you on a social media and you've got some way of knowing. But I think when I made music, 20 years ago, I didn't think anyone liked it or cared, and no one said anything really. Like I think I just felt like I didn't feel like I could I didn't feel like there was any point in continuing. It was just really hard. It's just really hard kind of play. And I also had I had children, and I decided that I'm gonna just focus on that. And you get quite jaded, I think, when you playing shows. I don't know if you play.
Yeah, we've played a few shows. Yeah,
occasionally.
Yeah, what, you wait around for like 8 hours, you sound check. If you're lucky, you play for 20 minutes. Maybe one person says that was good, or no one says anything, and then you go home, you go, what was that? And I just had to just do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Little did I know that two people from Texas would talk to me in 20 years' time.
Oh. Oh, we're breaking up a little.
Okay, good. Yeah, we're back.
Well, I'm really glad you enjoyed the deep dive. And yeah, I mean, we can say sincerely that your music is incredible. And like I said in the deep dive, like it was one of my favorite albums of that year when it came out. And going back to Minimum Chips, I was just blown away. So we greatly appreciate your work and everything that you do.
Yeah,
thank you.
It truly is.
Well, as you know, and yeah, I hope so. That's yeah, because it's lasted so long. But as you said, it's a group effort. I mean, everyone that plays on that album, like, I just wrote a few little songs and I could tell I liked them and I could tell there was something there. But then it was only when I brought them into the studio and, Zach, I'm so lucky he reached out and it was just really good timing. Like, I think I had another person playing guitar and then that ended. And then I think Zach just asked if you need a guitar player. And I just had no idea how much he was going to bring to it. But yeah, it was a really incredible recording process. And I know you said Lachlan Denton. It's Lachlan Denton.
Lachlan. I knew I was saying it wrong.
Lachlan, yeah. Do you say is there Lachlan? Is that a name in America or?
I don't know.
It's rare if you see it over here, I think, at most.
Yeah, I think just that name in general is kind of rare here. So that was one of the first times I had to read it.
He's as you know, superstar, and he asked if I needed a drummer, and I was like, oh my God, and he just came in and just nailed it. And I've probably spoken about this, but he just, like, were you talking about the song Confidential or that do?
Oh yeah,
the beginning.
Yeah,
That's him. He just, he just came up with that little stroke of genius, and it's incredible. Yeah, he just played so incredibly. He just sort of didn't make any mistakes. He just came in, recorded the songs, and I think we did a few shows together, but he's in about 2,000 bands. So he kind of had to move on. But then we were very lucky and got Rebecca Liston put her hand up, and she went to rock and roll high school, and she sort of studied the drums, so that's her first instrument. But she plays keyboard in parsnip, and so she hadn't played the drums for a while, but now she's back. And and then Stella. So Julian Patterson. I should talk about Julian Patterson's all those bass lines. He wrote them. They're him, and I just was blown away, like yourself. Because I'm just writing the songs and he's just coming up with these counterpart melodies that just they are they just I don't know, they're just amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
It works so well, but they also stand out on their own. It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's like an all-star cast, like a super group of all the best Australian musicians.
Very lucky. Yeah, I know. It's hard to talk about, but Zach's actually too busy now because all of his other bands are doing stuff. So just a couple of weeks ago, he said he can't keep playing in the band anymore. So you heard it here first. He's just got a little band, Orb, and Traffic Island. They're just
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you've heard of them.
Never
yeah.
heard of him. I might check him out one day.
Yeah, you should check him out. Yep. Lol. I'm pretty lucky that he lasted as long as he did. It just sort of got to the point, yeah, he's so busy and he's recording his stuff. But he said if I ever wanted to record with him, I can. So I might try and take him up on that offer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's recording people now and working on probably about 100 things. But yeah.
Well, I'm sure it'll be this kind of same situation with the other band members. Yeah. You'll find somebody that's
yeah. Got someone in the pipeline. I don't know if you know Zoe Monk, who plays in Eggy. There's a lot of bands that she plays in.
I think, that sounds familiar.
She's playing keyboard synthesizer now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What other? She's in the Stroppies now, and anyway, she's found a friend of hers is going to be playing guitar. So we just, awesome. I don't know how we're going to do it though. So anyway.
Well,
it was pretty traumatizing. It's like, no, because Zach wrote some of those melodies too. I feel like he wrote like harmonies and melodies and just everything was just perfect, you know? And it just was like, yeah, I'm going to miss him being in the band. But we'll be right. We'll probably never play a show ever again because we're never going to get out of this pandemic because of our government anyway. So,
yeah. Well, I hope that's not the case. And I hate to cut it off now, but I'd rather do it now before it.
Yep. See you in a second. All right. Any other weather questions?
Yeah, we just
weather affects instruments differently.
Yeah, especially with like woodwinds and brass instruments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wesley and I, and pretty much everybody that's in our band, our 4-piece little band that we have, we're all percussionists. So.
What?
Yep. Yeah.
Is it a percussion band?
Oh well, no, we all started as percussionists, like in band, like in school and stuff. Yeah, that's how we met.
Yes.
But at heart, we're all percussionists. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we played marimbas,
marimba in high school for a while. I was big on the vibes back in high school in jazz band.
Vibraphones.
Instead of Wesley.
Big vibes. Yeah, oh my God, love. We've been talking about trying to get one. I know Beck was looking on some secondhand site. Someone was selling a marimba.
Nice.
Oh, just be so good. Yeah.
Very expensive though. It's like.
Yep.
So expensive. Yeah.
And you can't skimp out on them either, because like if you spend too little on them, then you get those thin, cheap vibes that are basically just like bells. And
yeah.
It's just not the right thing.
Bad vibes. Yeah. You don't want bad vibes.
Yeah. We only want good vibes here.
Good vibes.
I couldn't stop saying that.
Couldn't pass it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so going more back into the album, the newer album, or Not Thibault, was there sort of a different... Did you approach recording this newer material in a completely different way as you would have like Minimum Chips, or how did that sort of evolve with time?
I just wanted to do it properly. Not that we didn't record Minimum Chips properly, but our budget was always zero, and it was always pretty much home recorded, and the other people in the band were pretty good at recording on 4-track, reel-to-reel, that kind of thing. I don't think we even recorded anything onto computer ever. But I just, it's sometimes pretty hard to listen to some of that. It's so low fidelity. Yeah, that's what we used to be always called, lo-fi. We were lo-fi. It was quite odd. There was a bit of a thing where most of the bands we knew would go into studios and spend thousands of dollars, and their recording would be really slick, but they'd still sound pretty awful, but we just recorded ourselves, and that ended up being a genre. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing now.
Yeah.
I know. We didn't have a choice. Yeah,
Now people pay top dollar for that lo-fi equipment.
Yeah, they try to emulate it.
Yeah, Ariel Pink AM radio. It's like just record with a crappy 4-track. I don't know. I wanted to get away from that, and I was like, it was. I wanted to sort of muck around and experiment, and I knew James Cecil. I've known him for a long time. He was in a band, Architecture in Helsinki, and I just approached him, and he's like a producer, and he's got a recording studio in Mount Macedon, which is about an hour and a half away from here, and it's in the forest, and it's really beautiful, and it's in an old school, it's like a school.
Yeah, that place looks
1800.
really amazing. I was looking at the website, and I was like, wow, it makes perfect sense that this album was recorded here. What was that like? Did that affect any of the sound, the feel of songs?
It had to. It had to. I would stay there sometimes on my own, and it's pretty spooky. Yeah. Just to get away from everything and everyone, and there's a few field recordings on the album. I don't know if you can hear them, but James recorded like just the wind, and he did a bit of that for one of the festivals. Like, I think he'd done a soundtrack, and I think we ended up using a bit of that in some of the songs, but just the sound of the wind through the trees, and but it was crazy weather. It was always windy and raining, and I think it really had an effect. Definitely 100%. Yeah, and just the sense that we had all the time in the world, like we could just kind of I think James kind of realised that he got really into it, and he sort of it was a total collaboration. I don't know how to put it, but he basically said he'll record me for free, and we'll just work it out later, because he just believed in it so much. So that there was no time or money constraint as there normally would be. So maybe that's we really kind of it was just so fun. Yeah. It was really. I noticed that you said Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pet Sounds
on Treasure Trove, yeah. Treasure Trove in particular.
Yes.
Yeah, we did stuff like, set up 4 microphones, in every corner of the room. We're totally channeling the Beach Boys. And part of me doesn't want to ever directly, consciously, rip off anyone, but this time around I'm like, it's never going to sound the same as them. But it was an obvious, it was a tribute as well. Yeah. It's like, we didn't shy away from it. It was like, if that sounds a bit like the Beach Boys. It wasn't like, oh no, let's, it's like, move towards it. And so it's just, that was fun, like, playing with timpanis and really going hard with lots of percussion, as you know.
Yeah, that's
like a seed shape there, and
I really like all the little percussion tidbits that are thrown around in the album. There was one song in particular, for Wanting to Be Alone in particular, like the percussion parts in that really caught my attention, and I just love those kinds of things.
I think there might even be a photo, I don't know if I put it up on Instagram, of Beck. Like, we had all this stuff laid out in a circle, and she was just sort of going around in a circle and playing it all, and we did, and then I filled up water bottles and tuned them, and we just sort of like finding whatever was happening in the room, and I think James James is a drummer as well. He's a percussionist, so he had a whole wall of bits and pieces. So we just kind of went for it.
Yeah.
It's
so fun.
It kind of
Sounds
reminded
great.
me of when we were in band doing like those percussion ensembles. You know, like everyone would be playing different things.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
like a,
One thing that we were talking about also, or I don't know if we touched on it, but subconsciously I was thinking it as I listened to the album. It sounds really fun. Like a lot of the parts on it, like they sound fun, and you can tell
Yeah.
like this wasn't like something that they worked on. Like they weren't trying to be like, oh, let's make it sound like uplifting and stuff, or fun. But it just, you could tell you guys were having fun recording it, and
Yeah.
it really came through.
that's so good. I'm glad that you can sense that. Yeah, It was fun. It was just fun. Yeah, I mean, it was traumatizing as well, but it was just so good to just get it all out. And like I'd written like a bunch of some sad songs, but they all had hopefulness to them, and yeah, there was sort of sad songs to get out of sad situations, but hopefully makes people happy listening to them. That's my aim.
That's
And it
very
does.
much, that's literally what it would like. We're talking about CenturyLink. We had touched on
Yeah.
it, and I was telling Wesley, like, you could tell that song is just pure emotion that went into it. But at the same time, it's very
Centerlink. Sorry, Centerlink.
CenturyLink.
'Cause
CenturyLink.
you spell it, Centerlink or Seno.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the band The Chats?
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you heard of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got we have you heard their song? What's it called?
That one song by the Chats.
It's about Centerlink.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, the one song. Hopefully they got another song. They just need to write one. That that's enough. That was pretty funny. I think they're from the same place as I grew up, like the Sunshine Coast. I think I recognize their beach.
Uh-huh.
Like, and I was in their life saving club as well, so I recognise like it's like, oh my, nothing's changed. Yeah. Yes, you don't really have Centrelink. You don't have social services, like really, like you just. Do you have any like?
We've got the HHSC, Health and Human Services Commission. It's like welfare, food stamps,
Yeah.
Medicaid, things like that.
Okay. Yeah, we're pretty lucky here in that sense that to a degree, if you like lose your job and you do kind of get looked after and whatnot, but yeah, it's pretty awful, horrible experience. You've kind of very dehumanizing. It was bad. I wrote a song about it. Yeah, just listen to the song. But that was also my sweet revenge. It was like, you know what? I'm going to write a song about this horrible place and horrible experience, and it's going to hopefully bring some joy to people. Except a friend of mine had to go to Centrelink and they to sign up or something, and they heard my song and they couldn't go because it was too traumatizing for them. They had to wait a couple of days, I think.
Well, the album is, I had described it as sort of like the rainbow after the storm in terms of hopefulness and stuff like that. And it's
I'm a
incredible.
frog. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yep.
The whole sort of mythos around this album is just like, it kept on getting better. Like when I first discovered it, like the album cover caught my attention, and I was like, whoa, what is this? And then I checked it out, and I loved Drama, which is the first track I listened to it, and I discovered who was in the band. I listened to more of the singles that you had released, and just everything about it. And then doing research on it, going into each little story behind each track, and the story, like where you even recorded, was just everything about it is just incredible.
Yeah. I can't really believe it happened, really. I'm very glad it did. I'm glad it happened when it did too, because it's been keeping me going, just having just the fact that I did something, and it was really hard to. I don't have a very good self-esteem, I guess. I don't know how you put it. It's very hard to, not very good at believing in myself. So it was good. It was very challenging to do, and just to get over myself. And now I've done it, and I feel very. I can die happy. I can die happy now. I can get coronavirus and sorry, go on. My bad. Oh my god. Anyway, I feel so lucky. I feel so lucky. Yeah.
Well, I hope the whole experience raised your self-esteem a little.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know where you're coming from in terms of that kind of stuff. Like I've had some low self-esteem moments, of course, when it comes to creative things.
It's really odd thing to do. It's like you just think, why am I doing this? What if everyone hates it? And you just, it's hard to stop that kind of, self-doubt.
That's sort of how it was, honestly, going into this podcast, starting it up. But it's great getting reception back, and people are actually watching it and liking it, and it's always good.
Cool.
So I hope we're kind of doing that for you.
Yes.
If all else, you'll have 2 listeners.
That's it. Thank you. I got done. I should talk about Jamie, how you found the album.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Jamie is just the best human being possibly on the planet. Have you got a chance to meet him? Because
we've talked to him at Giz shows, at King Gizzard shows.
Yeah.
He takes. I think I've said hello to him. We have never had like a full conversation, but
yeah, right. You should get him on the podcast.
Oh, I'd love to.
We'd love to.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to contact him, but
I'll hit him up.
Oh, that would be great.
He's got no excuse. I mean, he's so shy. He's not. It's never about him. He's so humble. He's just the most sweetest, down to earth, humblest, generous soul. But I think he's really funny, and that'd be great. I think there'd be so many people that would love to hear what he'd have. So many stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a lot to say.
That'd be great. Yeah.
How do you pronounce his last name, by the way?
Weeds Zakonski?
Is it Zakonski? That's what I thought in my head.
I think. I never really say it. Yeah, I think it is. It's always just Jamie Sublation. Yeah.
We know him by Sublation or Jamie.
I feel really bad now. I should know. I mean, I know how to spell it now. But I think it's Weeds Zakonski.
Weeds Zakonski.
I think I'm just reading it how it's spelled, but you can ask him when he comes on the podcast. Anyway, I don't know.
Well,
but he's incredible. I just wanted to shout out to him. Just that album cover is just incredible. It's at it's a place called, I don't know hey. Here's one we prepared earlier.
Oh, the blur. Let me take off the blur.
Nice blur.
You were
saying because it's so good.
Yeah.
We put the photo up. It's up near where we recorded the album, and I don't know the indigenous name for it, but it's called Hanging Rock. And there's a movie. This whole folklore. There's like a story written about it. That's kind of, it's quite spooky. All these schoolgirls go missing, and it's pretty funny.
I'll find a link and leave it in the description on YouTube.
Yes, yeah. Look it up.
That's crazy that you stayed there by yourself. Like, like when you said that, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I imagine that would be
Across
pretty
from
creepy.
there, yeah, across from I stayed in a tent one night, like a bell tent, and then I stayed in the school, and I think I wanted to, be scared. I wanted to get some kind of heightened
Yeah. Did you come
adrenaline.
across any ghosts or anything while you were?
I don't think so, but there was lots of photos of little kids from that were at the school in the 1800s that were all kind of still there around the school.
Oh,
They were
man.
pretty
Scary.
that's scary. That they were there in the studio with us. So yeah, it's probably not a. I don't think those kids had a good time there. You could kind of sense the playground was still kind of there too. It was pretty bare bones. Yeah, it was very, very horror movie, but also beautiful and very peaceful as well.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's a nice part of the world. Yeah.
Hopefully, we can visit there one day, Corey.
Yes.
Yeah, I really
You
want
can
to.
probably come and visit, but I don't know if Australians are ever going to leave. I don't know if we can ever get out of here, man. Have you got travel restrictions? Like, are you allowed to go anywhere?
I think we're.
They're slowly lifting them. I had a friend take
Yeah.
a flight back to Austin today,
Yep.
but I think it's
Okay.
still within America.
Okay. Yeah.
So things are getting pretty bad over there again, huh?
Sydney's, yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, we're in like hard lockdown. We can't go anywhere. We can't 5 kilometer radius. We can't leave the house unless we're going to the supermarket or it's pretty bad. It's happened so many times in Melbourne. I don't know how much you know about it, but anyway, yeah.
We've kind of,
I don't want.
with all the musicians and stuff we're following, we kind of,
Yeah.
that's where we hear it from.
You pick up. There's no shows. There's no everything. Just people organize things, and then it just falls apart. And there's no real like our government's really quite right wing, and they don't care about indie underground musicians. I mean, they just care about football and sport and stuff. So those kind of things have kept going, and very odd.
That's kind of how we are in Texas.
Sorry, it's too sad. I want to talk about it. It's too depressing. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyways, all right. Well,
done.
before we wrap it up here, we always like to ask our guests, what does the future hold for Nicole? Is there anything you're working on at the moment? I mean, I know things may not be easy to work on, but is there anything planned? I know you have a show coming up. Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I've written one song, which is kind of a variation of a song I'd already written, but I just slowed it down and it's different now. So probably shouldn't be telling you that, but I'm just kind of surviving, and I'm doing other things. I'm going to open a shop soon.
Oh, very nice.
But I might sell records at the shop, so that's good. Hopefully there'll be a music element there. But it's a bit crazy to open a shop in a pandemic, but it's going to be a nice shop that has nice things in it for people's homes. My theory is that no one can go anywhere, so they need a few little bits and pieces. Plants and records, coffee cups,
That sounds really nice.
vodka cranberry. What are you drinking in that cup? What is that coffee? No, it's not coffee.
Oh,
Water.
It's just
Vodka.
water. It's filled with vodka to the brim
Vodka, yeah.
with just a
Nice.
splash of cranberry.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
All right. Well,
You'd be dead.
yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah, there's
go
not much
die after
happening. I
this.
wish I had something to say. Oh, yeah.
No, it was great.
I wish I had something to tell you. No. It'll be another 10 years until I write another album.
Well, whenever it inevitably comes out, we'll be here and we'll be waiting.
Thank you. All right.
It was so great talking to you.
Anytime.
Thank you so much for coming on. We really
So
appreciate
nice.
it.
So nice to meet you. And you never know what anyone's going to be like. You know, I didn't know if you're going to be nice people, and you're both very nice people, and it's a really nice,
Thank you.
refreshing change to
Thank you.
a lot of not nice people.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
it goes both ways. You're
Yeah.
incredibly nice, and we love talking to you. We love
That
having
was
you.
great.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, stay safe, stay
right.
clean.
Yeah.
Take care.
See you as soon as possible.
Yep. Have a good one. See you, everybody.
Bye-bye.